Nordic by nature. I'm Mikis, and today I'm joined by Ian Moore from Vodeno.
Hi, nice to meet you. So yes, my name's Ian Moore. I'm the Global Head of Financial Partnerships at Vodeno. Vodeno is a payment as a service company. We are unique in our proposition because what we offer is banking as a service, but we also have a bank within our group. So that is quite unique in our proposition. But firstly, a bit about me. So I joined Vodeno about 6 months ago. Prior to that, I spent almost 25 years, showing my age here, in banking. So I'm a transaction banker by heart. Spent time at Deutsche, JP Morgan, Citi. So I'm a bit of a poacher turned gamekeeper, looking from a regulatory framework and understanding payments and bringing it to the industry. There's not many of us around who have been through that journey. It's quite unique around the proposition. So like I said, I bring a lot of experience from core banks, bring it into the fintech payment industry as a whole.
Love that. And I think you said something really unique. To actually have a wider industry experience is really key when you speak.
It is key because our industry is quite a young industry, but the frameworks behind it are still very fundamentally providing services to clients, whoever the clients are, financial institutions, corporates, individuals like that. But underneath that hood is still fundamental clearing capabilities, payments and so on like that.
Exactly. So we're in Copenhagen at the Nordic Fintech Week. What brings you and Vodeno here?
Personally, it's great to come home. I grew up here in Copenhagen. But what really brings us here, and I'm joined here by our CEO, Noah Sharp, and our Chief Product Officer, Strategy Officer, Jean-Jacques Lebon. We're here because we see the Nordics as an opportunity to grow. We have, as I alluded to in my opening statement, we have a bank and we have a branch in Sweden. So we're already here present in Sweden. Which gives us that framework to expand into the further Nordic area. So yes, that's what brings us here. Plus also it's an interesting conference. It's bringing technology. We spoke around a bit about AI on here on today's sessions. So yeah, that's what really brings us here.
And you mentioned your CEO. He was on stage talking about opportunities for Nordic companies to do more within BaaS, banking as a service. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so like you said, Noah's here. He was on a panel with a couple of other BaaS providers that have banks as well. The main theme was very much about how we can grow BaaS in the Nordic area.
Yeah.
The Nordic area is quite unique. It's very much concentrated risk around current legacy banks, so the big players out there. But are they in touch really with the fintech players out there who want to be fast, agile, be able to bring that technology to speed of processing? So that's something that they were talking around. That's something that is very much unique in what our area as a whole, banking as a service. Banking as a service incorporates a number of different things. They spoke around embedded finance, lending, loans. They spoke around payments. All of that incorporates a bank as a service. But also fundamentally, you've got the core banking platforms that sit behind it, which then, if you have that, but then what you need to be able to do then is execute transactions and make payments in NOK, SEK, and DKK. So that's something that was very much the theme of the discussion that happened earlier.
And there's so much value in having one integrated party to leverage multiple of these different solutions. And you mentioned so many opportunities, but that also comes with challenges. How would you put that to word in terms of how to manage both the opportunity and challenge? Yeah,
that's one of the big things that's out there at the moment is how can we incorporate AI that's been talked about. Like what we were saying earlier off camera, we spoke around when does a human experience finish and the new artificial intelligence or machine learning start? There's a very grey area of where it all actually works out best. But that's a challenge. I think one of the other challenges is regulations, and that's always the case at all conferences. Regulation. You've got PSD3 coming in, which is going to be very much front and centre of what happens. I think PSD2 was really, really good, but PSD3 just expands that and gives responsibility and so on to the industry.
Indeed. And so you mentioned AI, PSD3 is coming up, regulation, it's always something we need to, that's at the end of the day, we can only be as innovative as we're allowed from a regulatory perspective. What do you think Nordic FinTech Week is going to be buzzing about this year around?
I think a lot of it is around what the art of the possible can be. Everything is spoken around payments and the end-to-end experience, but one of the core things that people forget is there's always an end user. If it's a corporate who, like with us as Vodeno, we power sort of some of the biggest names in the world, but we power corporates, we power individuals, but what we also power are people who want to do in the terms of B2B2C, so business to business to consumer. And that's one of the journeys we're talking inside, is around that whole experience of being able to take that journey to the end of that C, big C that is now in existence.
Thank you, Ian. Those were all my questions. Really
That's right.
interesting. Great
Thank you very much.